And this is an example antenna that you would make. So my DIY receiver system was made from the same digitizer that you would get in the kit from the Dayton Hamfest. It was just a used computer for data recording, nothing professional. A loop antenna made mostly out of scrap wood. We had an antenna preamplifier at the loop terminals, and we received all of the data from the digitizer, just a small USB stick. And we used the same software as you would get in the kit. So here's pictures of me actually making the antenna. This is making connectors for the wire. This is the actual antenna itself. It's quite large and does not fit on top of a car, as we learned. Here's a picture of me, my dad, and my dog installing the antenna in my backyard. This is the preamplifier. It's not the same one you would get in the kit, but it works exactly the same. And this is the power supply for it. So when we did the initial tests, we were easily able to see the different stations. This is the one in Cutler, Maine, NAA, and this is the Lemoore, North Dakota, as I showed before, NML. And you can see live recordings of the data as it's coming in the software. So we loaded all the data into Excel sheets, and it takes the signal strength recording of all the stations that you want to, all the frequencies. Every 2 seconds, it makes one recording, and you're able to plot it out. And so this is some of my data from the 19th of February. And there was no particular solar events on this day. But so here's the solar activity on a blank day where nothing at all happens. It was pretty boring because we're doing this at like the solar minima in many years. And this is what the data looked like. This is just a usual day. You get much better propagation at night when it's bouncing off the E and F layers of the ionosphere. And then during the day, you get much weaker signals in comparison. And this is University of Louisville's recordings. You can see the same little random blips of when the transformer goes off. So I know we're looking at the same things, and I'm getting the right data. And here is an overlay of multiple days. You can see the daytime is very consistent, but the night varies greatly in signal strength, depending on the cosmic rays ionization. So a SID monitor is an important part of a personal space weather station. It's very easy to make. It can be built with you can get the kit free from your school most of the time, from Stanford, or you can just make it yourself easily. The actual antenna I made was just fine for recording the data after one day of a lot of hard work. And my data looked just like University of Kentucky's, so I know that we're seeing the same results and we're able to compare. And there's actually being uploaded to Stanford's database as well, so it's all being compiled. And even though the sun was relatively quiet during this period, I'm going to set it back up and keep recording, because you never know when solar flare or coronal mass ejection can happen, and you'll have these events that you need to record because a lot can happen. Thanks.
And questions?
Yeah. Yes, in the program you can automatically have it send the data to Stanford in one large collective database, so they have all the data in their servers. I do not, but I know they have it. Well, well, supposedly there were a few large, well, not very large, but there were some C-class flares throughout February while I was recording last year. But on those days, I don't know what happened, but my data and University of Kentucky's data, so something was wrong with the transmitter or something, but there were 2 days where there were C-class flares, and on both of those days, the data got really messed up. it was just nonsense, and it was nothing that could be explained, which was not fun.
My question is, do you have a social network group which actually collecting information from all sites which you showed on the map around the globe and actually collecting data for comparison not only between you and your Kentucky friend, but globally or at least nationwide? Because in that case, you will be next step to the science doing with your data.
I know that all the data is being, or at least most of the data is being uploaded to Stanford's database.
Is anybody is analyzing? That's what I don't see quickly, at least. But at least having a social media group would allow you to exchange with ideas.
So, kind of. Okay. So,
Okay.
Stanford runs a listserv that all the people who collect that data get emails at regular time when people say, "Hey, I just collected this and saw something that I hadn't seen before. Anybody else see it?" Okay. So we're communicating that way, and people are publishing papers using this data. Whenever a paper gets published, send out on the list of, hey, this paper just appeared in print. Might want to go see it. Here's a preprint of the paper. So not normal social media, the old-fashioned social media. Listen.
No. All right. Is that all? Thank you.
Congratulations.